Hey, Father Taylor here, and this will be Thursday, August 29th, with your EBlast. Many things to go over. First of all, Meadowbrook. Thank you, Fred Fitzgerald, for a great announcement on Sunday about the reason why Meadowbrook ministry is important. Sometimes we think of other ministries as being more important than dealing with elderly people or people who are sick or in care. And these are the very people Jesus identified with. And he said, when you did it to the least of these, you did it to me. So Fred really laid that out greatly in just about 3 minutes. And he invited people to come for a one-time come and see. It's the kind of thing where you can go and just sit and be there and check it out. And so I'm hoping that you will think about that to going to Meadowbrook. But Meadowbrook has had a little outbreak of COVID, and so we are not going to Meadowbrook this Sunday. So think about it for next month, first Sunday of the month coming up. So think about that for next month. So that's Meadowbrook. Secondly, a little update on the house situation and the property. First of all, this is not the biggest thing in God's mind that when God comes to what do I have for folks, Trinity, what's their ministry? It's really not about property. I'm just keeping you up to speed. So the vestry had a meeting last week where we went over really all kinds of different perspectives on the house and what are all the alternatives that we should be thinking about before we come to a vote. And so we had three big questions about the property that we were exploring. We had to go out and seek. I talked to a guy at the town, and somebody else is talking to a realtor. Somebody's talking to a real estate person. So we're just finishing some things up. Once we get all the information, the vestry will reconvene on a non-vestry night and go over that and make a vote on what we think of all these alternatives and all this work we're doing. What do we think is the best first option for the property? At that point, we will schedule a meeting that the whole parish will come to. I'll update you on all the little pieces. Now that the narrative is almost out of date, I'll give you some more updates. So that's still yet to come. We're just making sure we're doing every last little piece of due diligence. So that's the house. Other things coming up. Thank you so much for so many people responded to the back to school blessing, or actually, I should say the Tarryful School back to school blessing. We created 50 packs of various supplies that the teachers often have to get on their own, that they will be delivered at the end of this week over to the schools. So thank you. And a big thanks, Amanda had that up, and then Elaine Shagnon and Eileen Mosky got involved. Thank you guys for putting that all together. Those teachers are going to be like, wow, they did it again. So that's a great thanks. I want to say that coming up on September 8th, September 8th is when we want every kid going back to school to come to church so we can have the whole church pray for them. We're not blessing their backpacks. We are blessing kids, asking for God's grace, God's protection, God's care the whole way, the whole church family coming to minister in a prayer for all those kids. So make sure you bring your kids September 8th, Sunday, September 8th. The next weekend is the 14th, of which is a Saturday from 5 to 7. That will be the outdoor kind of concert with barbecue and all kinds of stuff. Please invite your neighbors. We would like to see 150 people show up. That would be great. Get 150 people piled in the parking lot just for fun. It's not a huge time drag, and it doesn't matter if this is your genre of music. It's a church event, which we're inviting. So we're asking all hands on deck. Everybody grab a couple, bring your picnic baskets if you like. A lot of people bring coolers and things. I'm not checking what's in your cold drink things. I'm not checking. So I'm just saying. So anyway, so coming up, the band is killer, and you've seen them before. And as I said last week, 2 weeks ago, they were at Theodore's, which is the biggest blues spot in Springfield in Western Mass. Last week, they were at Black Eyed Sally's, and on the 14th, we're going to be right in our parking lot. Hopefully, we'll see lots of people. You can mingle, meet some new friends. That weekend, we also start our 3-part new members class. So if you have not gone to a new members class, or if you want to catch up on, hey, what are they saying about new members now? It will be what we do in place of our breakfast alpha. So we'll go right upstairs after church. If you're curious, if you have friends that are curious about our church, what a perfect time to come. I put together a presentation. Week 1, what do we mean when we say Christian? So what is a Christian? And what is an Episcopalian? What defines being an Episcopalian? And what, on the most, maybe just as important, what does it mean to be a member? What are the benefits and responsibilities of members here at Trinity Church? Following that, we have a very big series coming up, which is based on the book by Henry Blackaby, but it's a full church, full court press on how do we hear and discern what God is calling us to do. We often look at all the things we do, and one of the big issues that we bring up sometimes at vestry is, man, I feel like the same people are spread out thin in many, many places. Like, should we be focusing on something? What is it that God would really want us focusing our energy on this year? And so we're having a time, or book. How does that happen? How do you know? It's not just about brainstorming and putting little, sticky notes on a board and what's our favorite things. No, there's a way that God speaks to us, and we actually know God better, which is why the book is called Experiencing God. So that's going to start. That starts on October 6th. On September 21st, we have another one of our Enter the Heart of Worship events that will be held that Saturday morning at 10. It's about an hour, hour and a half, where we just come together to worship the Lord. This is more than singing songs. This is not about what people who like to sing songs come out to this. This is about how do we enter into God's presence and listen. God speaks, we respond, God responds. We've had a few we'd like to get back on in a regular way, and we're looking forward to somewhere mid-fall to offering an actual service on Saturday evenings at ballpark 5 o'clock, where we actually have this kind of deeper worship, and we're not tied to the same liturgy that we use on Sunday. It's a little more open for us to be able to listen and respond to the Lord. But that's all coming in the future. If you haven't gotten your Safe Church training stuff, we do have September 28th. Please register ASAP. And so I think I covered, looking down here at my notes, I think I've covered them all. So God bless you. Keep praying for people to come to know the Lord. Pray for the ministry of our church. Pray for our church members, that we would be open and receive the outpouring of God's Holy Spirit and follow him whatever he asks us to do. God bless you, and look forward to seeing you